Hello, we are Group 1. Today we want to talk about our initiative. Our topic is From Shelf to Shelter, a SDG initiative for price rights. So here's our presentation overview. We will first talk about the introduction, company background, and initiative. And then we will talk about the social desirability, viability, and visibility. Let's start our presentation.
So I'm going to talk about the SDGs that we are going to encounter. The first one is number 1, no poverty. It refers to eradicating extreme poverty, which aims to eliminate poverty for everyone currently living on less than $2.50 per day. And for the next one is halving national poverty. So it's basically halving the population who lives under the poverty. And for the third one is social protection systems. So it implements different measures such as cash transfers, unemployment insurance, and pensions to ensure the vulnerable have a safety net. And for the next one is equal access to resources. So it ensures everyone has right to economic resources, basic services, land ownership, inheritance, and financial services with microfinance. And for the last one is building resilience. It reduces the exposure of the poor to climate-related disasters and other economic or social shocks. For the importance of it, because it has a multiplier effect to other SDGs, such as the 2, 3, and the 4th and 5th one. For the second one, it is zero hunger, so the families can afford nutritious food. And for the third and the fourth one, which is the health and education, parents can send children to school instead of work and afford basic medicines. And for the fifth one is gender equality. Since women are somehow disproportionately affected by poverty, economic empowerment closes the gender gap. And for economic stability, because it reduces the number of poor, so the gap between the rich and the poor is reduced, so the economic will be more stable as well. For the global security and peace, it reduces social unrest, migrations, and conflicts, so there is less violation in or war or conflicts in the market. And for the next one is breaking the intergenerational cycle. It reduces the future of children that will be determined by the wealthiness of parents, because the children get more support and more help in the time they grow up, so they will be easier to get rid of being poor. For the next one is the 11th, sustainable cities and communities. It refers to housing slums, which ensures safe, affordable housing and upgrade slums, and sustainable transport, which expands safe and affordable public transport for focusing on vulnerable populations, and planning and protection, which enhance inclusive urban planning and protect cultural or natural heritage, and the resilience and environment, which reduce disaster impact, improve the air quality, waste management, and provide green public spaces. For implementations, it promote regional planning, integrated policies, something like that. And for the importance, it can be divided into 3 parts. For economics, it improves the living efficiency, because there is more advanced and better planning in designing the community, and it improves the productivity through sustainable traffic design. For the social and health significance, it addresses housing crisis due to the better planning of the community as well, and it improves the air quality because the monitor of the green production is really focused, and it has an inclusion of vulnerable groups such as the disabled. And for the environmental and climate world, it reduces resources consumption because the energy is more efficient and they promote more green or environmental friendly plan. And it reduces disaster damage and preserve more cultural heritage. So linking between the SDG 1 and the second one, and then 11th one, it shares the same goal about living improvement as, and then they will both gain benefits through producing sustainable design. The communicates will be more prolonged, and there are more access for the property, like the services and also the infrastructures, and the resilience to disaster. Sustainable communities could prevent disasters turning cities back into poverty.
Now I'm going to introduce our chosen company, Price Right Hong Kong. Price Right was founded in 1986, and it is now a very well-known Hong Kong home furnishing and lifestyle brand. It offers products like furniture, household items, and lifestyle goods. And its brand philosophy is all about helping customer cares for their homes and family. Over time, it has built a strong reputation in the local market. One thing I found interesting about Price Right is that it is not just a retail brand, but also a company that has been trying to keep up with sustainability and innovation. For example, it has developed eco-friendly products like the Hekla mattress and the Plantable pencil. It also uses green retail technology, such as the Price Right Space app, which lets customers prepare furniture in a virtual one-to-one home setting. This helps reduce wrong purchases and product returns, which means less waste and lower carbon emissions. Price Right has also launched a green NFT campaign. Customers who spend 300 Hong Kong dollars or more can redeem an NFT, which combines environmental protection with local art. The campaign also used Artcoin's green blockchain, which reduces energy use and supports carbon offsetting. This shows that Price Right is willing to try new ideas that connect technology, sustainability, and creativity. Also, the company won a Sustainable Development Grant Award in 2023. We chose Price Right because it is a home-focused brand, so it fits our project very well, especially since our initiative is related to shelter and social responsibility. It also has a people-oriented mission and a good reputation in Hong Kong. Most importantly, Price Right already has experience with purchase-linked sustainability campaigns, so our idea feel practical and realistic for the company. So overall, Price Right is a strong choice because it is a trusted Hong Kong brand. It already cares about sustainability, and it has the right image and capability to support our CSR proposal.
Now, let us introduce our initiative. The campaign is called From Shelf to Shelter, with the slogan, Every purchase wraps someone in warmth. The idea is simple. For every customer who spends 500 Hong Kong dollars or above in a single transaction, Price Right will donate one sleeping bag to Hong Kong's homeless community. So, how does it work? There are 4 steps. Step 1 is plastic sourcing and processing. We will collaborate with Green Ed Community, a community recycling network supported by the Hong Kong EPD. It collects waste plastics and transfers to approved downstream recyclers for processing. Price Right can then purchase the processed recycled plastic through this network as raw material for production. Step 2 is product manufacturing. The recycled plastic will be processed into raw material, then turned into sleeping bag fabric and manufactured into finished sleeping bags. Step 3 is purchase trigger. When customers spend 500 Hong Kong dollars or above at Price Right, each purchase triggers one sleeping bag donation. To encourage participation, members will also receive double membership points, which they can redeem on future purchases. Step 4 is distribution. The finished sleeping bags will be handed to Impact HK, a Hong Kong nonprofit that supports people experiencing homelessness through services such as accommodation, outreach, and employment support, making it a suitable distribution partner. For online marketing, the campaign will focus on Instagram, Facebook, and Xiaohongshu. The campaign will roll out in 3 phases. First, a launch post to introduce the concept. Second, milestone updates to show donation progress and build trust. And third, a short video showing the full journey from recycling to distribution. This campaign follows a 6-month timeline, from June to July. Price Right will confirm partner and prepare operation. From August to September, the first batch of sleeping bags will be produced and the workflow tested. From October to December, the campaign will officially launch, which aligns with cooler weather in Hong Kong. Finally, in December, the campaign results will be reviewed and evaluated. Next is the budget. The total estimated project cost is Hong Kong dollar 132,000, covering recycled plastic, manufacturing, logistics, manpower, promotional materials, and contingency reserve. To reduce cost, the campaign uses 2 strategies. First, part of the revenue from eligible purchases can help offset production costs. Second, the project may apply to Hong Kong's Recycling Fund, which supports recycling-related projects and can reduce the overall net cost if approved.
So let's talk about the social desirability of our project. Our project aims to offer help with homeless and environmental issues. We transfer plastic waste into a warm, portable, and waterproof all-in-one sleeping bag. So about the homeless issue in Hong Kong. According to the government data, there are 715 reported homeless in Hong Kong, and many of them are aged 15 or above. As we can see, most of them vulnerable to cold weather and health issues. When winter comes, they cover themselves with cotton quilts and cardboard. These materials are easily moldy and unusable over time in a rainy city like Hong Kong. Also, they are not possible for them to enter community centers. It forces them to leave their only protection behind. Our sleeping bag allows the homeless to keep their bedding with them all the time. Also, the outer layer prevents the rain and the ground moisture. and the inner layer keeps the body warm and holds nice. This product provides reliable warmth and keeps a basic dignified life. Another issue we are focusing on is the environmental problem. According to the report, we throw away a massive amount of waste. As we all know, plastic waste takes hundreds of years to decompose. It can enter the ecosystem and eventually harm us. Therefore, it is important for all of us to protect our environment. Our project can help to find a way to reuse the plastic waste, and also reducing the demand of virgin materials. As a result, less resources are wasted. We want to turn the waste into warmth and turn the pollution into protection. So, why Price Right? Price Right is a home and living experience. Not only that, efficient and cost value match our mission perfectly. Our project can help the company mission to extend to those who need it the most. On the other hand, Price Rise helps the homeless in an eco-friendly way. Therefore, the Price Rise has a unique position for our project.
Now, let's discuss the viability aspect of our initiative. Firstly, it is important to understand what corporate social responsibility, also known as CSR, means, as it is the core reason for why this initiative is viable and should be pursued by PriceRite. CSR refers to a business model where a business actively makes an effort to create a positive impact on the environment or society as a whole. For example, a business could invest in changes to their manufacturing process to decrease emissions and pollution, benefiting the environment and therefore engaging in CSR. So, how does our initiative demonstrate engagement with CSR? Well, there are two aspects of our initiative that reflect this, and they are related to the SDGs we are covering that were discussed earlier. Firstly, the initiative demonstrates environmental responsibility as we are recycling plastic waste into sleeping bags, which will reduce plastic pollution. Secondly, social and ethical responsibility is also shown as we provide these sleeping bags to people who cannot afford it, which promotes fairness and equality, ultimately reducing the devastating impacts of poverty and the wealth gap. Now that we understand what CSR is, as well as how our initiative demonstrates engagement with it, we must examine the benefits that this can bring to PriceRite. According to a journal article written by Law and Bhattacharya, a business's CSR initiative has shown to contribute to their corporate identity, meaning consumers may be more likely to establish positive associations with the brand, ultimately improving their beliefs and attitudes towards the business. For PriceRite, this would mean that when a customer thinks of the brand, they would also think of the CSR initiatives PriceRite has done, ultimately improving their brand image in the consumer's eyes. This could also lead to word of mouth advertising, as consumers tell their friends and family about PriceRite's program and how it addresses real world issues, encouraging them to make purchases to support the cause. All in all, engaging with CSR could increase brand reputation and possibly customer loyalty, increasing sales and therefore profits. All this theoretical insight into the effects of engaging in CSR is helpful, but to prove that this can truly bring PriceRite benefits, we must examine a real-world example. A section of a research article published by Niame Asiyama and Gulam analyzed the relationship between revenue and other factors, including environmental responsibility, which is what we will be focusing on. This study was conducted on Tesco, a supermarket brand originating in the United Kingdom. So, how did Tesco demonstrate engagement with CSR? In 2006, Tesco reported investing £20 million into energy-saving schemes, which resulted in a reduction of 58,000 tons of carbon emissions every year. In 2008, Tesco introduced a variety of carbon-labeled products, informing consumers of their environmentally friendly nature. They also introduced a system allowing consumers to recycle aluminum cans at stores to obtain discounts on purchases. In 2010, Tesco began offering solar energy products as well as educational information that aimed to help consumers reduce their own carbon emissions. So, what was the result of implementing all these CSR initiatives for Tesco? Looking at the table shown, we can see that as the environmental responsibility increases, so does the revenue, demonstrating that there is a strong positive correlation between these two aspects. Therefore, we can apply this to PriceRite as real-world evidence that engaging with CSR may yield higher profits.
Part, I'll start with the scale of price rise. Price rise is one of the largest furniture retailers in Hong Kong, with 14 stores in key districts. Because of this, the company already has a strong logistic and supply chain system. This means we can use existing resources, so the cost is much lower. The store can promote the recycling scheme, and the logistic system can transport plastic waste with almost no extra cost. Employees can also help promote the ideas to consumers. As a list company under SHIFT Investment Group, we have the resources and stability to support this project, and their impact can reach to the whole of Hong Kong. Next, we are looking at the cooperation with Green Ag Community. Since we plan to be a downstream recyclers and it means we are working with the government, this makes it easier for us to convince Green Ag Community to cooperate with us. Because Pricewise can be listed as an official recyclers, we can handle plastic waste directly within our system and control the process, which helps to reduce the cost. For Green Ag Community, they can expand their recycling network. So the plastic waste they collect usually has no value. But in our project, it can be turned into useful product like sleeping bag. This creates a win-win situation and supports a more sustainable society. Then we look at financial feasibility. The Hong Kong government provides a recycling fund under the Enterprise Support Program. It can subsidize up to Hong Kong dollars of 1 million and support equipment like plastic processing machines. There is also a one-to-one matching fund, which reduces their company investment by 15%. This helps lower the financial risk and make their project more sustainable. This led to our core idea, the circular of economy too. Instead of treating plastic as waste, we turn it into useful product like sleeping bag. This creates both environmental and social value, while also supporting the business. For implementation, we use existing resources in three ways. First, stores are used for promotion to encourage recycling. Second, the logistics system transport plastic waste at low cost. Third, we cooperate with green community, which already collects waste. At the same time, this project can increase the foot traffic, which may boost the sales, and mainly it can help the homeless to tackle SDGs. In this circular, we can see some advantage. For market feasibility, many consumers today prefer purpose-driven consumption. They like to buy products with meaning, such as helping the homeless people. This increases consumers' loyalty. When consumers feel they are doing something good, they may also be willing to spend more. With net effect, they might also buy more when the stuff are nearly worth $500. The project also reduces friction for consumers, as they do not need to take extra steps to act in environmentally and societally friendly way. This is a small conclusion of the advantage below the circular of economy is in this project. Next is the forecast feasibility. The supply of plastic waste is stable as we can source PET from Green Ag Community. In the first year, we predict that using 5 tons of plastic waste, around 80 PET plastic bottle can produce one sleeping bag. So this can create about 2,500 sleeping bags for the first year. In terms of social impact, there are around 715 homeless people in Hong Kong. Our production is more than enough to cover the demand, and extra beds can be kept as reserved. Operationally, the process is cost-effective and staff can focus on promotion instead of handling the waste. Finally, we also consider the risk. One risk is greenwashing. When people may think this is just a marketing strategy, to stop this, we increase transparency by sharing real cases, publishing the reports, and showing long-term commitment. Another risk is about the product quality. To solve this, we use a QR code to show the product information and ensure a proper monitoring. The last risk is about the repeat collection by the beneficiaries. To prevent this, we can work with NGOs to verify their identity, register their HKID, and limit each person to one sleeping bag. We mainly focus on ensuring the motive to help the one in need, and our products are reliable. In short, by using our existing skill and government fundings, we hope to build a practical, low-risk plan and not just a dream to turn plastic waste into a real social wall.
So this is our references that we use in this presentation, and this is the end of our presentation. Thank you.